Okay, about how you got started,
Okay.
because you were talking about your family background, being involved in business, and
Right.
your mother in the bridal store,
Right.
and so forth. So,
Yeah.
tell me
Well,
about your background in that regard.
my mother and father lived on the south side of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother was an actress, and she never could really fulfill her passion in terms of, she did the lyric opera Carmen,
Oh.
like in 1951 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Did she
Um,
sing as well, or was she?
Um, she sang, but she did the theatrical version.
Right. Okay.
And but she never was able to really achieve what she wanted. And she always had this fashion sense,
Mm-hmm.
and so my folks took me every year to the Sissy's Ball on 63rd Street,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about the fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Sissy's Ball was a place where you were really going to see people that were going to be flamboyant,
Turned up,
stylish, unique, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
On Sundays on 63rd and 47th, just getting dressed and walking down the street, which was important for people who like to
The stroll.
stroll.
Yeah.
So all those things were a part of my memory growing up, and she always had a dream of doing a formal wear shop because she wasn't wealthy, so she only looked at the pictures in jet of the Lynx cotillions and and the sorority cotillions and all that, and she said that someday she wanted to dress those people.
Mm-hmm.
And so she and my father, saved their money, and they opened Ask Gwen's Bridal, which was on 95th, one block east of Western.
Mm-hmm.
And
What year was that?
that was 1974, 75.
Okay.
And it was the first black business in Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had done weddings. We had a home wedding business where a lot of families would come to her to do their flowers, cups, and make the dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And my father, after World War II, and you got your military funds for education,
Mm-hmm.
he got the tailoring.
Mm-hmm.
He got the tailoring, and so he then taught it to me and my two brothers, Shelton and Charlton Blackburn.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mother didn't sew, so she had this house business, all through, my grammar school and high school. I made dresses.
Mm-hmm.
So then when they opened the business, they sent me to Italy to do these Spasabella gowns, and I had already been going because I had been playing. So I had already been before then, but then she said, "Well, can you go?"
So by this time you were a musician.
Yeah, I was a
so
musician.
about how old were you then?
In '74, I guess I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, so I went to Bologna, and I ended up living in Bologna. And I went to the house of Spasabella, and then I brought back those skills and then taught my two brothers, Shelton and Charlton. She opened this shop, and we were, because the problem was when you got formal gowns and you didn't know how to do all the piping
Mm-hmm.
and all those things,
Mm-hmm.
then it was too much money to go out and
Farm it out, yeah.
farm it out.
Mhm.
So my mother's really smart. I said, my kid who already is in Europe playing, I'll send him, to learn this,
Right.
so that we can save money when we need to fix all these gowns, because people come in and then they eat, or they get married, or it's their prom or whatever. They're going to be bigger when they come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the problem in that business.
Mm-hmm.
And so then people want their money back. You can't afford to get the money back because you already paid them so much money
Right.
for formal wear,
Right.
which is more expensive than regular dress.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really good
Mm-hmm.
at all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
How old were you when you actually first started sewing?
when I first started sewing, I was probably about 8.
Oh, okay.
About 8.
And again, your father
My
taught
father,
you and your brothers.
Yeah, taught us. So I was about 8. By the time I was 12, I was working for my mother in this in-house business. People were saying, you got to get the Gwen Blackburn.
Now, was your father still tailoring during that time?
No,
Was
he had joined
supporting
the police
business?
force.
Oh, okay.
Because he had intentions of starting his own business, but he had 3 kids to take care of, and so he joined the police force.
Okay.
And so my brothers and I, we were mainly doing most of the sewing for my mother, and so that became the name of her business because everybody was asking Gwen, what kind of table should we have? What color should we use? Well, in May you do such and such. In June you do such and such. She was really good.
Yeah.
We didn't realize till years later, after the business was over, that the real business was consultantship, because we never charged for her telling what kind of flowers, what kind of displays, what colors to use.
Oh, really?
We only charged for the formal wear.
Wow.
Right? And so
people are making good money on that other end.
Well, that's how I learned how to be a consultant. Was the mistake that we made with my family business of never having people pay you for your ideas. That's my first form of income. You follow?
Oh yeah,
so,
I follow you very well.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so we were also, in coming out of the '60s, so it was the time of the culture. So, because I sewed so well, when I was making all of my dashikis, geles, and lampas, they were much better than everybody else's because I had couture background.
Right.
So everybody wanted Cahil's pants. Everybody wanted Cahil's dresses back at that time. Everybody at Ipe was wearing my stuff. Dr. Burroughs was wearing my stuff. Zambezi had me exclusively, and I was fast, right? And so
you were working with Nioti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was working with Jess because Jess actually, Nioti worked for his brother. Nioti was making all the stuff, the jewelry and stuff,
right.
But Jess was the businessman.
Okay.
So
what was his brother's name?
Jess Williams.
Oh, okay.
Jess Williams is on the board of the African Arts Festival. He and Nioti look just alike, except Jess looks like a Wall Street businessman because that was his background. And so they opened the business together, Nioti as the artist and Jess as the businessman. And so then they had me making all the garments because Nioti didn't make garments, he made jewelry. Right. And so,
now, around what period are we now? We still in the 70s?
No. That's before. That's like 68, 69. Yeah. So I'm a teenager. But I was making for a young person a pretty good living sewing. And so then things happened. I ended up taking Richard Pablo Landrum's place, who played percussion with Nina for years. He died. So I ended up with that gig with Nina, which would be around. I'm sorry, he gets out the room.